The world watched in horror as smoke billowed and towers crumbled. September 11th, 2001, forever changed history. This tragic event sparked fear, anger, and a thirst for answers. It also ignited a firestorm of conspiracy theories. These theories, often controversial, question the official narrative of that fateful day. The official story tells of hijacked planes, extremist terrorists, and a nation caught off guard. However, many people around the world find this narrative incomplete. They point to inconsistencies, unanswered questions, and potential cover-ups. This skepticism has fueled numerous conspiracy theories, each attempting to provide an alternative explanation for the events of 9/11. Almost immediately after the towers fell, whispers of conspiracy began to circulate. The speed and symmetry of the collapse seemed suspicious to some. The official explanation, involving fire-induced structural failure, was met with skepticism. Online forums buzzed with speculation. Alternative news outlets offered dissenting voices. Theories, ranging from plausible to outlandish, gained traction. Some people questioned the government's role, suggesting foreknowledge or even complicity. Others pointed to potential beneficiaries, such as defense contractors or political factions. One of the most prevalent conspiracy theories posits that the Twin Towers were not brought down by the impact of the planes or the ensuing fires. Instead, some believe that the official explanation does not account for all the observed phenomena. Instead, proponents of this theory argue that the buildings were rigged with explosives and demolished in a controlled implosion. They suggest that the way the towers fell resembles the precision and coordination seen in professional demolitions. They point to the speed and symmetry of the collapse, which they claim is more consistent with controlled demolitions than with a gravity-driven collapse. The near freefall speed and the uniformity of the descent are often highlighted as key pieces of evidence. They also cite the presence of molten metal in the rubble, suggesting the use of thermite or other incendiary devices. This molten metal, they argue, could not have been produced by the jet fuel fires alone, which burn at a lower temperature. This theory has been widely debunked by engineers and scientists who argue that the tower's collapse can be explained by the structural damage caused by the plane impacts and the subsequent fires. Experts emphasize that the intense heat from the fires weakened the steel framework, leading to the building's eventual collapse. Detailed simulations and structural analyses have shown that the combination of the impact damage and the prolonged fires was sufficient to bring down the towers. These scientific explanations aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of the tragic events of that day. Another persistent theory that has captured the imagination of many challenges the official account of the attack on the Pentagon. While the government maintains that American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the building, causing significant damage and loss of life, some conspiracy theorists believe that the Pentagon was struck by a missile, possibly launched by elements within the US government. This theory suggests a cover-up of monumental proportions. They point to the relatively small size of the impact hole, which they claim is inconsistent with the wingspan of a Boeing 757. The hole, they argue, is too small to have been made by such a large aircraft. They also question the lack of debris at the crash site, suggesting that a missile, rather than a plane, was responsible for the damage. The absence of large plane parts, such as wings and engines, fuels their skepticism. This theory, too, has been widely disputed by many experts and investigators, with experts pointing out that the impact hole's size can be explained by the plane's angle of approach and the fact that the wings would have disintegrated upon impact. Additionally, the high-speed collision would have caused much of the aircraft to break into smaller pieces, explaining the lack of large debris. Section 5, Flight 93, Crash or Cover-Up. The tragic event of September 11, 2001 left many questions unanswered, and Flight 93 is no exception. Conspiracy theories also surround the fate of United Airlines Flight 93, which crashed in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The official narrative states that the brave passengers fought back against the hijackers, causing the plane to crash. While the official story credits the passengers with thwarting the hijackers' plans, their heroic actions have been widely praised and commemorated. Some theorists believe that the plane was shot down by the US military. They argue that the government might have taken this drastic measure to prevent further destruction. They argue that the debris field was too widespread for a plane that crashed intact, suggesting that the plane disintegrated in the air, suggesting that it was blown up in mid-air. This theory is fueled by the pattern and spread of the wreckage found at the site. They also point to the lack of a large impact crater, which they claim is inconsistent with a plane crashing at high speed. The absence of a significant crater raises doubts in the minds of some, which they claim is inconsistent with a plane crashing at high speed. The expected damage and impact marks are not as prominent as one would anticipate. This theory has been challenged by eyewitness accounts and forensic evidence, which support the conclusion that Flight 93 crashed as a result of the struggle between the passengers and the hijackers. The evidence collected from the site aligns with the official story, which support the conclusion that Flight 93 crashed as a result of the struggle between the passengers and the hijackers. The bravery of those on board is remembered as a significant act of resistance against terror. Section 6. The Architects of Deception. Who benefits? Conspiracy theories often revolve around the question of cui bono, who benefits. In the case of 9/11, theorists have pointed fingers at a variety of potential culprits, each with their own alleged motives. Some accuse the Bush administration of orchestrating the attacks as a pretext for invading Afghanistan and Iraq, securing oil interests, and expanding American hegemony. Others blame intelligence agencies, claiming they allowed the attacks to happen in order to justify increased surveillance powers and erode civil liberties. Still others point to shadowy figures within the government, suggesting a deep state coup or a power grab by a secret cabal. Section 7. The Allure of Conspiracy. Why do people believe? The enduring appeal of 9/11 conspiracy theories speaks to a deeper human need to make sense of tragedy and find order in chaos. For many, the official narrative, with its emphasis on random violence and foreign enemies, is simply too difficult to accept. Conspiracy theories offer a sense of control, a way to believe that the world is not governed by chance. They provide scapegoats, villains to blame for the pain and suffering. Furthermore, the internet age has created echo chambers where like-minded individuals can reinforce each other's beliefs regardless of their validity. Section 8. Seeking truth in the shadows, critical thinking and evidence. While it's important to question authority and maintain a healthy skepticism, it's equally crucial to approach conspiracy theories with critical thinking and a commitment to evidence-based reasoning. Many 9/11 conspiracy theories rely on speculation, conjecture, and cherry-picked data. They often ignore or dismiss evidence that contradicts their claims. It's essential to evaluate all sides of the story, consult reputable sources, and be wary of confirmation bias. Section 9. Echoes of Doubt. The Legacy of 9/11 Conspiracy Theories. Whether or not one subscribes to 9/11 conspiracy theories, their persistence underscores the importance of transparency, accountability, and open dialogue. These theories serve as a reminder that trust, once broken, is difficult to rebuild. They also highlight the power of misinformation and the need for media literacy in the digital age. Ultimately, the search for truth and justice in the wake of tragedy requires a commitment to critical thinking, empathy, and a shared pursuit of understanding.